Finally, it's happening again. It's been 168 days. It's been 5 months and 15 days. April 16th, 2024 is the last time we saw this Warriors main roster out on the basketball court. Tomorrow, October 1st, 2024, training camp starts. We're at the eve of training camp. It's a day away, and we're going to see our main roster out there performing and getting ready for this new season. The Warriors just released who is on that main roster, who's going to training camp in Hawaii. We're going to break it all down. Some information you may know, a little bit new. In addition, we're going to give you the key headlines for the preseason. When are the games? Where are they playing? Everything you need to know to be prepared for this training camp. And of course, when does the season start? We're 1 month away, less than a month away from the season starting. Randy Silver here, Warriors Digest. We break down all the biggest Warriors news for you daily. Trades, rumors, free agency, game stats, everything in between. Thank you for being with us. If you're not, smash that subscribe so you don't miss anything daily. Before we get into today's episode, as I was about to record, this came out that Basketball Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo passed away at 58 years old due to brain cancer. And this is a tragic news, not just for the basketball world. This is tragic for the whole NBA community, the global community. He was more than just a basketball player. He was a global ambassador. He was everything to the United States and helping grow the game, but also in Africa and helping them grow the game there, but also being humanitarian in Africa and helping many people live the best lives they can and improve the lives that they have. What the NBA statement, so you can see it, Dikembe Mutombo was simply larger than life. On the court, he was one of the greatest shot blockers and defensive players in the history of the NBA. Off the floor, he poured his heart and soul into helping others. He was the first NBA global ambassador, humanitarian. His spirit continues on in those who inspired through his extraordinary life. Adam Silver with some very nice words here. We condole Dikembe's wife Rose, their children, his many friends, and the global basketball community. If you weren't around for when he played, just look at this. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA, 6-time All-Defense, 2nd time in blocks, 3rd time in blocks per game, an absolute legend. And with all those stats, he is a Basketball Hall of Famer, inducted in 2015. So we lost a true legend to the game today. Wanted to take a moment to recognize his influence on the NBA community and the global world itself. Us at Warriors Digest send our best respects and condolences to the Mutombo family and the whole basketball community. So let's take a moment of silence and then we'll get into the video. Here's the Golden State roster for the 2024 training camp. Anderson, Beekman, Curry, Green, Hield, Jackson-Davis, Hinson, Knox II, a late addition, Kuminga, Looney, Melton, Moody, Payton II, Podziemski, Post, two-way player, Rowe, Santos, Spencer, two-way player, Waters, and Wiggins. A couple of key things to see. We have a 7-footer on the roster without shoes. H2 right there. Quinten Post is 7 feet. Is this Jonas Valanciunas? Is this another 7-footer that we wanted? Maybe a Lopez brother? No, but at least we drafted the 7-footer. It's a different type of player we haven't had since the Bogut days, basically, which is a decade ago. A lot of wings on this team as well, but at least we have a 7-footer. So again, making it bigger. You can see here, you have Anderson at 6'9". Green's listed at 6'6". Hinson 6'7". Knox is 6'7". Jackson-Davis is 6'8". Kuminga 6'7". Looney 6'9". Waters is 6'6". Rowe is 6'7". Santos is 6'7". So a lot of wingers on this team. The kind of ball that Steve Kerr plays. A lot of switching on defense. A lot of multi-position players. But with Quinten Post, two-way player, we'll see how much playing time. Don't expect a lot to start the season. Probably ramps up as the season goes on. What can he do at his position as a center where he can drain threes but get in the post? Yes, he needs to put some weight on his body coming from Boston College. So this is your roster. Now, what does this mean? Who will actually be on the final final roster when the season starts? That's a great question, and let me help answer that for you. We have 12 guaranteed deals, 2 non-guaranteed deals, 3 two-way players, and 3 Exhibit 10s. We have 1 spot left open, which will most likely go to a Santa Cruz Warrior player. So know this in mind. So the real fun begins October 23rd. And this is what's important. When we play the Trailblazers in the first game of the season. The roster size will have to be 18 with 15 standard roster spots and 3 two-way players. So this is our salary going into this year, and you can see future years. As I mentioned, if we look back really quickly, we have, let me bring it up for you, 12 guaranteed deals, 2 non-guaranteed deals on the main roster. So how does that work? So you can see right here, the ones in beige, good to go, guaranteed. Who's not guaranteed? Lindy Waters, who we just traded for from OKC. When I pulled up, it'll become fully guaranteed on January 10th, 2025 if he's still with this team. Same for Guy Santos, non-guaranteed. It'll be fully guaranteed January 10th, 2025. So opportunity for Spencer, Beekman, and Post to earn a potential training camp spot. A regular season spot off the two-way contract is there. Maybe they play really well in training camp and they want to get rid of Santos or Waters. Then they don't have to be dead cap space. A lot of money given up for that. Also, again, you have the two-way players. So you have, the training camp players, Hinson, Rowe, and Knox. So Hinson, and Rowe, and Knox can also be trying to go for those main roster spots. So if you look at what this team could do, this roster, pretty much the players you see, Steph all the way to Podziemski and Trayce Jackson-Davis, are locked in. You can feel pretty confident that they're not going to lose a spot in training camp. But Waters and Santos need to prove themselves because they're non-guaranteed deals, and there's potentially 6 players, and maybe there's someone else on a different team that does really well in preseason the Warriors look at, falls through the cracks, can bring in, could be able to come on their main roster as well. So those are the 2 training camp battles to be aware of. And again, last video we talked about Randall, we talked about Cat, like why are they not here? If you look at the total roster size, like you got Steph Curry making 60 million, 62 million. It's a lot of money to then bring in, especially Cat, who's making very similar money in the high 50 millions. The rest of your roster will have no depth in this new CBA. Randall could have maybe brought in, and I have to make an apology because I said Green and Randall were very similar players. I meant they play similar positions. They're power forwards. Randall's better offensively. Green's better defensively. And we saw last season when Green is not on this team, we really suffer defensively. His ability to vocalize the switches, to get players in the right positions, what he brings to the team defensively, we would be really missing that without someone coming in to step in that position. We don't have that on this team. So I don't think Randall, for what we need, would have been a good fit if that meant you had to lose Draymond Green. So thank you for the people in the comments who kept me honest there. But to take it back to here, I want to just make sure that you guys again see that the 2 training camp battles to really be thinking about who can make this team, Santos and Waters, could be theoretically dropped because they're non-guaranteed contracts and the dead money wouldn't be significant. So be on the aware, and of course here at Warriors Digest, we're going to keep that up for you, and so you know. The Warriors open pregame action in Hawaii against the Clippers October 5th. The whole training camp, the first week, is in Hawaii from October 1st to October 5th. They return home for a pair of contests against Sacramento, and then they also play the Lakers as well. What does this schedule look like? Clippers Saturday night, October 5th, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, first preseason game. Then you have away October 9th against the Kings. Then you play the Kings at home October 11th. Bobblehead if you're in San Francisco. Another bobblehead if you're in San Francisco for the Pistons October 13th. Trying to get people in for the preseason games. And then you have a home. It's going to be an away and a home against the Lakers October 15th, October 18th, and October 23rd. You play the Portland Trailblazers. Exciting stuff, folks. Training camp is here. Preseason is here. And we're so happy to be with you at Warriors Digest. Again, like and subscribe. We're going to give you all these player breakdowns. We're going to give you the stats, everything you need to know as the season goes on. Thank you for being with us, and appreciate you and your viewership. And again, one last time, rest in peace to the Basketball Hall of Famer, Dikembe Mutombo, who passed away at 58 years old due to brain cancer earlier today. We'll see you on the next episode, and we're going to have a bunch of media day and training camp news, so don't miss it.